Joshlin Smith case is coming to an end. Guys, I'm super impressed. In this specific video, I'm going to talk about few things, right? I'm going to talk about Miss Swanepoel. Jehovah, the state prosecutor. Jehovah. No, she's onto something. Really, guys, she's onto something. And I'm listening to the defense now. The defense, when they respond to the heads of argument to the state, or from the state, Jehovah. You see, there's a state prosecutor. There's a defense. The guy. I'm gonna get his name soon. That lawyer. I think Uharamse. I think I was listening to the back and forth between that lawyer and the judge, and I could tell that even the judge is very much prepared. The judge is very prepared, guys. The judge is prepared. He corrected him that no man. This and this and this, that's not aligning. Please explain, where did you get this reference? I'm like, oh man, but I want to make this video to be more about Miss Swanepoel. Why I'm saying I want to make this video to be about Miss or Mrs. Swanepoel, I'm not sure. But yeah, she's a state prosecutor, Zelda Swanepoel. Woo! Today, and I was impressed with the preparation. Yeah, okay. It tells you how this person was prepared for this case. That's what we want. When we watched the Senzo Mewa trial and people thought that we were just complaining, look and watch the Joshlin Smith case from the state's point of view and from the judicial point of view. Woo! I can't say much. Give them props. If I were to rate them, I'll give them 6 out of 5 stars. If it was 10 out of 10, I'll give them 11 out of 10. Why? The precision. Like they keep time. That case, man, is full of the things, everything that we're complaining about. We send some Mewa trial. It is there on that case. What we then learned today was that Kelly Smith, not Kumalo, took Joshlin Smith to a white polo, to a person described as Sangoma. Kelly tells Bota that she received a sum of 20,000 rand, and Kelly tells Renz that she did something bad. She says she told she sold Joshlin, state prosecutor Madot. Guys, let's give props to this woman. I'm listening to this and how she's connecting and summarizing the case, her argument, and say, okay, this is what she says, and this is why it is connecting. And I'm listening to the judge himself. He's following, the judge is following, even though the judge has got questions, but the judge is following, which then leads me to this point that I think come Friday, we are going to hear this, that these three are guilty. That's what I'm basically sensing right now. But take a look at this.
So Kelly takes Joshlin to a white polo, and there she speaks to a woman. She describes her as a Sangoma because of her appearance. I know that defense is going to make a lot about that, but that was her inference that she drew. Seeing her, she has seen a person before, and that is what she understands to be a Sangoma. That's how she described her. Renz sees Kelly receive something. At the time when she receives it, she looks around to make sure nobody sees and puts it into her pants, and she then returns with Joshlin. Renz overhears Kelly tell Buddha that she has received the money from the Sangoma and that it is 20,000 rand, because now Renz has moved back from where she was hiding behind the rocks to the house, again standing at the position of the broken window, when she overhears Kelly saying this to Buddha. And that is when she then enters and also sees, when she comes around the corner, that Stefano, accused number 2, is also there. Kelly tells Renz that she has now done something bad. She has sold her child, Joshlin. Kelly informs Renz that she will receive 1,000 rand and Stefano will receive 1,200 rand. At that discussion, Stefano and Buddha were present during this conversation, and both of them, Renz and Stefano, accepted this and accepted the offer of that money. The evening, there's then an argument between Kelly and Buddha, and this is in relation to Paulina Chosa's testimony. Paulina watches as Kelly drags Joshlin into the residence and says, "Ek sal jou wys." Buddha then informed Captain Lombard about an argument, and this is during the interview of the 25th of February, he did in fact inform Captain Lombard that there was an argument, and he confirms that the children were present during that argument.
Yeah, so speaking about Friday, that is coming around. On Friday, guys, the judge will deliver a judgment. So you and I, we've got to be live. So we will see how we balance things, but we've got to be live. Boy, oh boy, we've got to be live. Come Friday, we've got to do a live stream. But even today, guys, we will be doing a live stream even today later. So that's why some of the points I won't look. I will not say everything now because I'm too overjoyed. Yeah, but on the Joshlin Smith's case, I think I stated that I am with the state 100%. Tower Baxter with the state, aka Story. I'm not sure whether the defense or the state, I am in between. But the Senzo Meyiwa trial, I'm with the defense there. You know what I'm saying? So speaking about this one, we were listening to the arguments. Part of the things that also, as we were listening to the argument, Miss Swanepoel speaks about the time, right? Speaks about... she goes into details and talks about, okay, how best can I describe this? Maybe I shouldn't describe this, but rather allow you to listen to the state prosecutor, Swanepoel, dismantling the case. Yeah, I'm gonna give you a video where she says that. She also, Swanepoel says one of the accused participated in the search for Joshlin Smith with the knowledge that she was sold and will never be seen again. So that's where she was saying that. That's when Swanepoel was saying that even the way she was going about everything, it was not convincing, right? People were not convinced because she knew deep down in her heart that the child has already been sold. So she was participating for the sake of participation, not necessarily participating with an intent of finding the baby, because she knew right there and there, as people were searching, she knew that they will not find the baby because the baby was already been sold, right? Hey man, let me give you a video. Miss Swanepoel, I'm so excited about the work done by Swanepoel. I can tell you this. Looking at the work done by the state, the preparedness, guys. Ooh, the way they are prepared, the way they are so accurate, the way they deliver. Yeah, my daughter. That's what we want in the Senzo Meyiwa case. But I've got a confession and an apology that I want us to acknowledge when it comes to the Senzo Meyiwa trial. But we'll talk about that in the live stream today. Today we'll have a live stream later. We'll talk about that in the during the live stream. So let me make you listen to one video by Miss Swanepoel. I think this video will be the last video, and then the other type of content, the other videos, we will be doing them later on today. Ooh! But I can tell you this, from where I'm seated, these guys are going down. These guys will be sentenced, and I'm going to tell you why I'm saying that, but listen to this first.
So if I may then deal with the timeline, my lord, which then starts on the August of 2023, early morning hour, very cold winter's morning, when Stephen Coetzee meets with Kelly close to her house, and the conversation that they then have at that stage. The next time that Stephen, that's an important occurrence when Mr. Coetzee meets or sees Kelly, is in the school holiday of September, October, when on a Saturday morning, he also, I think it was Orion Street, if I'm not mistaken, he sees her walking, pushing the pram seeing the three little girls in between them, calling of Joshlin. He calls Joshlin and he sees her, and he describes her as having the most beautiful pair of eyes. That was his precise words under those circumstances. Then Sunday, the 18th of February, is the next important date. Here the police visits Buta regarding the theft of chickens, which is not in dispute, except for the day. Then the reason for the visit is also not in dispute.
Can we just pause on the day?
Yes.
Of course, there's the statement handed in that places on the 17th, but that witness was never called.
Yes. Indeed, my lord. So there is no evidence to gainsay what Ms. Ren Shalombo then actually testified about, that it was on the Sunday and not the Saturday. What can be accepted in any event is that the detective was there and it was for this purpose. Definitely.
Well, it's common cause. It was never disputed
Yes.
with her
Yes. It was only the day,
that
Saturday.
there was the chicken issue.
Yes.
But Ms. Lombard places the chicken issue, that argument that ensued, and the breaking of the window and so forth. That was on the day that the detective was there.
Yes.
She's corroborated as to where the vehicle stood,
Yes.
the buggy. Corroborated about Mr. Apollos going to the buggy. Then, because that was never disputed, in fact, it was put to her that was the situation for what it's worth, because it's not evidence.
No.
But then the important, is it Ms. Chosa?
Probably no.
Ms. Chosa places it on a Sunday,
Yes.
and she gives her reasons why she placed it on a Sunday.
So, okay, what I'm going to do, okay, I would like you guys to start commenting, right, on this video. Tell me your comments, because what I'm going to do later on today, I'm going to go through your comments, right? It will form part and parcel of the discussion during the live stream, right? So please drop your comments as fast as possible so that when we do the live stream later on, you look, I want you guys to answer this. If you've listened to the case, I want you to tell me, what have you noticed in the preparedness from both the defense and the state? There's something I've noticed about the defense, but I don't want to say it now. I want to leave it up to you. I want you to tell me what have you noticed between the defense and the state. There's something, man. What have you noticed, right? Two, in terms of the state overall, the preparedness, the case of the case presented by the state, what lessons do you think we will learn going forward, right? And then let's talk about the handling of the case itself, right? How do you think? What's your take about how the court has handled the case, right? We might notice that the Senzo trial is busy dragging. Sometimes it's necessary, sometimes it's not necessary. So what did you notice about that? What did you notice so far as these people, the accused, are concerned? Do you think, I'm just asking this from the bottom of your heart, are you convinced that the judge will sentence these people? Or you are saying, no, Bongs, I think they might survive. Now, I want you to consider the fact that the judge, what is the thing? The judge here admitted the confession. So I want you to notice that. Bear in mind that the confessions were admitted. So we are waiting on Friday. The judge will give reasons. The judge has already indicated that on the judgment that is going to give on Friday, it's not necessarily going to be a written. There's going to be an audio version of that. And then later on, they will then issue the written judgment. So it tells you something. The judge is already telling you that tomorrow, the 30th of April, I want to finish with all the argument because on Friday, I want to deliver judgment. I want to deliver my judgment, right? And I want to make sure that on Friday, I come and I deliver my judgment. So in other words, the judge is giving himself one day. What does it tell you about the judge himself, right? I'm going to ask you questions about the defense. What did you learn and what did you notice about the defense? Are you seeing anything, maybe a sign of acknowledging that in this case, you know what I'm saying? Do you see them maybe somehow saying that, I'm not going to say much, but do you see them somehow saying that, no, but these people are guilty? Don't you get something along those lines? You know what I'm saying? Because one thing that you need to note is that they themselves are parents. So, or they cannot just save. Okay, it's their job to save people, but at the end of the day, they've got conscience. Sometimes they kind of feel like, no, we can't do this. Have you noticed anything along those lines? I'm saying this because I'm waiting for your comments. As you comment, then later on during the day, around 7, we will then have the live stream, and then I'm going to go through this comment. What have you noticed that is so unique about the lawyers as they approach the case? Do you think that they are convinced that their clients are innocent? Yeah, that's the question. Are you looking at the way they prepare things? Are you convinced that the lawyers who are defending the accused are actually convinced that their clients actually are innocent in this case? Or you, from your observation, you have observed that these people actually, they are, even the lawyers, maybe according to your observation, even their lawyers, do they give you the signs that even their lawyers does actually give us the sign that these people are guilty? What are you getting? I'm interested to hear your thought and your opinion in the comment section below, right? And as I say, we are preparing for our live stream that will be happening later on today at around 7 o'clock. But I'm super proud of the state. This is what we've been asking for. If the judicial was looking at our complaints and they were wondering, they thought that we were just complaining for the sake of complaining, look at the things that are happening in the Joshlin Smith case from a judicial point of view, from state's point of view. We can't help but just give them props. 6 stars out of 5, 11 out of 10 ratings. That's what we've been asking for in the Senzo case. Not this unnecessary delays. The Joshlin Smith case, it is giving us exactly what we've been asking for. But we've got something to apologize to. We need to acknowledge when we are wrong. We will do that afternoon concerning the Senzo trial. Somewhere, I learned something today that we were wrong. All of us, or most of us. I'll show you that later on today.